Hey there, adventurer, and welcome now to Shout Out Wednesday. Post a comment or ask a question in the Sagittarius room on soulgarden.tv. I'll do my best to answer or shout back 1 week later. Well, it's a two-part emotional day today. As we wake up, the moon is still in Sagittarius. So the first half of the day, I'm giving you a sunny and cool icon. Your emotions and your ego will be working on the same team. By the afternoon, though, the moon moves into Capricorn, which means your emotional focus will now shift to what we call soul capital. Soul capital, frankly, is the way you believe in yourself. So it's your self-esteem, which turns into your ability to be productive on the planet or not productive on the planet. If you don't feel valuable, you can't go out there and get a great job. And then if you really have a lot of soul capital, you can draw in abundance. So if you feel like $1 million, you can draw in $1 million. Now, that said, this is probably one of the weakest parts of Sagittarius' life. I know that because Pluto has entered into this area where it will remain for 16 years, helping Sagittarius completely let this side of themselves die and be reborn. So your self-esteem will die and be reborn in the next 16 years. That said, when the moon crosses over Pluto in the next 24 hours or conjuncts it, Pluto is a focusing agent of regeneration, it's going to call to you to let go of an old emotional attachment you have to a self-esteem issue. Very likely self-esteem at this point. You may be worried about money, you may be worried about productivity, but in the early part of the Pluto transit, it is always about self-esteem. So perhaps you are emotionally attached to beating yourself up every time you make a mistake. Well, how's that emotionally serving you? Is it creating the reality you want tomorrow? If your emotional reaction to something today is intense and it's centered around how well you feel about yourself or don't feel about yourself, you have to ask, does this reaction serve me? Then finally, for our shout out, goes to Douglas, one of our soul gardeners on the collective. He actually spells it D8, Uglis. I don't know if maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, Douglas, but Douglas asked a question about what does Mars in Scorpio mean? Mars in Scorpio is an intense transit. That means an intense soul, and it's very, very sexual because Mars is masculine energy, especially with men who have Mars in Scorpio, and Scorpio is also sex, death, and taxes. So Mars in Scorpio means that when it comes to intimacy, you are very intense. In fact, these people often want to own their lovers and kind of keep them captive and just devour them for themselves. Also, it's not for the weak or the timid. You should probably engage in intimacy with people who can handle your incredible intensity. All right, that's all I have for Wednesday. I'll see you folks tomorrow with more. Live, love, be. So